Greetings, it is December 25th, 2016. El 25 de diciembre, 2016. Happy Hanukkah to Jewish viewers who might see this. Merry Christmas to Christian viewers. Feliz Año Nuevo. 2017. Happy forthcoming New Year, 2017. Just a quick view here of a drawing I'm working on. I'm working right to left, kind of Hebrew and Arabic writing and printed textile. Actually, being left-handed, it actually makes more sense. I should have been doing this for years, because now I'm less likely to schmear wet ink and or like gouache watercolor while I'm working. So I'm going to move the lamp here, see if we can get a good angle so it's not too ultra reflective here. So I will let viewers interpret this as they wish, but that is the St. Louis ship, my portrayal. I've got two books from the library which I'm reading portions of. Have been very useful educationally for my own background about the history of the ship. This one's a children's book published by a press in Toronto. This one, adult age readers, by a man who I'm guessing must be around my age, who's lost a number of relatives, including an uncle, a grandparent, a great-grandparent, and grandfather, and so on. So anyway, to be continued, and I will be proceeding on the left half here. Voila, voici, danke, thanks, merci, dziękuję, grazie, gracias. There you have it. Greetings, it is December 28th, 2016. This is the second footage. I did a 10-minute video, just uploaded it to my computer and decided it's too long. Might be fine for journalists or academics or students doing whatever, advanced research, but for the general YouTube viewing public, got to keep it 3 minutes or less. So this has gone through several major evolutions since the previous footage, starting with the fact that I had, I cut off the entire left half, which is now a separate undrawn piece of paper, which may or may not get drawn as a second panel, making it a diptych. I may decide to scratch that idea, just keep this as a singular work. First, I did some stitching with, this will be very hard to see, kind of a thread that's almost, it's kind of beige, very hard to make out, and stitched on 1, 2, 3, 5 buttons, which will be hard to see also, but take my word for it. I chose them because actually their coloration kind of blended in almost too well. There's one large one up there on one of these teeth. And then there's this one here, which I don't know what it was from, but there it is. And then I stitched on yellow twine, which I think it took me 15 minutes to actually get the twine through the eye of a needle. It was a challenge. Anyway, it's there, kind of giving it a metaphoric view of, kind of ships. All sorts of ships have rope. So then I was able to recycle a bunch of mats from small pencil drawings that I did around, I think, 1990 and 91 in Puget Sound of a sailboat, freighter ships in Puget Sound and so on. I had taken those drawings out of the mats last winter, I guess it was, and the drawings were collaged onto a kind of multi-image drawing that I had begun in 2015 that I completed last winter, a double portrait of Sir Herbert Reed, the late great British art historian. That was exhibited at the Seattle Convention Center last May and June, I think it was. So I had the mat sitting here, and they were already in these kind of curved shapes. I had to cut ends here and there to get them to fit. I'm at 3 minutes 15 seconds here, so I better continue on. Tally ho, man. I had one already cut apart proof of the linoleum block print of the murdered French Jewish background surrealist poet, anti-Nazi activist, writer of thousands of radio commercials between the wars, literary, music and art critic Robert Desnos, Robert Desnos in English, American English pronunciation, so I used some black and white sections, collaged them on here, because in my linoleum block print of Desnos, some of his poems are all about the sea. We have kind of like starfish and fish and so on. And then I actually cut apart one good color proof, because I really wanted this on here in the lower left. Then since I already cut that apart, some of the here's a proof that's intact. So we've got kind of this greenish blue, red Desnos there, black and white areas kind of around his shoulders and upper torso and there, and so there you have it. I'm almost at 5 minutes, so well, I've managed to cut it in half from the previous footage, and I'm going to be printing a photo I found in the website of the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum in D.C., and I'm going to do a drawing of a young man who was a passenger on the ship who was murdered at the Auschwitz-Birkenau death camp complex, and we'll see how that turns out to complete the drawing. There you have it. 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Voila. December 30th, 2016. So the right panel is now done, or almost done. I'm videoing this at night with overhead fluorescent and 2 wall lamps, so the light might be a bit off, but we won't worry about it. So this is the last section I did. I'm going to actually add some thicker width gesture lines in the bottom here, just to balance it out with weight of blacker gestural line work on the bottom there. And then I shall begin the left half, and I've designated 2 areas for portraits of passengers, like in portholes, and there's actually enough area there on the left for either some Third Reich imagery, anti-Semitic, and or maybe another sea monster or 2. So we shall see. To be continued. It is moving along. January 7th, 2016. This is going to be the short version of the artwork in progress about the SS St. Louis and its tragic voyage from Hamburg, Germany. to Cuba, Miami, back to Antwerp, Belgium. So I'll be doing another portrait of a passenger in the porthole here, and adding some sort of sea monsters in this section on the left there, down through here. So to be continued. January 10th, 2017. I'm videoing this upside down as I had to turn the entire drawing upside down, or else I'd be reaching too far up on the table with my drawing pens in order to draw this section. So these are photograph prints which I cut out from after printing them at like a drugstore photo kiosk. They came out. They lost all their sharpness and from internet seen photos, and I don't know who the children were and or if they survived or perished. Nonetheless, they were passengers on the ship, the SS St. Louis. So then I did a kind of collaged on different drawing paper, did the pencil underlay, and so that child's going to be drawn there. This one will be drawn here. Here, I'll flip the camera around. Viewers, this one might be hard to actually make out. But so you see the child's nose, eyes, kind of a clump of hair over the forehead there. And I'm going to be proceeding with ink drawing, just similar to, for example, the mouth, nose, eyes on the portrayal of Helmut Goldschmidt, who was 22, a passenger on the ship. When he was 17 in 1939, he was murdered at age 22 at the Auschwitz death camp, mass murder complex. So, to be continued. Next footage will be after this is done. Then I'll have, now I'm going to walk around, look at this right side up here. But I'll have just one area on the left, and I'm thinking of having some sort of sea monster, serpent, kind of coming along here. Perhaps not dissimilarly to this drawing of a actually related subject from the Under the Wing series, and it's a Herschel Grinspan with Christmas cactus, that's in the lower left, and we're getting light reflection from the fluorescence, but with the rest of the title is with horribilis, something like horribilis udenfishes, like Jewfish, which I find is very peculiar terminology regarding fish and plants. I've talked about this at some slide presentations. Anyway, there's the there's one kind of freakish looking fish on lower right there in black and white, and above it there's like this snake-like serpent. So that's an earlier work from the Under the Wing series, Old Man Praying in the Warsaw Ghetto. Anyway, since we have this area here, and that's where I'm going to do something of that sort, which will kind of flow for me with the imagery I did here, and with this kind of, however one wants to interpret that. There you have it.
January 11th, 2017.
All right, the first of the two children in the upper left porthole is now done in ink. And just doing a quick clockwise overview. Bright reflection on the paper here from the lamp I'm using. So next, this child here, and then I'm going to have kind of some kind of snake creature coming up, since I have this left section here. So, to be continued. It is coming along. Let's see if I can get the whole thing in here. Not quite without getting on a ladder. That's okay. January 13th, 2017. Just a quick update on the progression here. I'm making all the previous video footage is going into one compilation, kind of an overview of the progression of the work from start to finish. I added a touch of kind of sickly yellow into the sky in the background there of the Auschwitz death camp signage and structures and so on. And I added two more portholes at the far left. I'm going to be doing a drawing of this girl here on the lower one, and a kind of sea beastie creature in the upper left. So to be continued. Maybe the next footage will be after it's all done, and then I will take it to a room in the building where my studio is, where I can tack it onto the wall, a white wall, and get a good overview of the whole thing. So, stay tuned.
Greetings. Bonjour, buongiorno, shalom, salam, guten tag, buenos dias. It is Friday the 13th, January 2017. The drawing is done. And I'm just going to do a quick overview without much narration here, because it's there's the description text plus a lot of narration in all the previous footage I took from when I began the drawing on through yesterday or today, this morning. I'll just note a few things that were done last. I added some yellow into the sky. I like to think of the sky around Auschwitz as being sickly. This was added last. This child was recently completed, as was the one in the porthole at lower left, as well as this sea demon, is what I'll call it, in the porthole at upper left. Okay. Just show the work in shush.
merci, danke, thanks, grazie, gracias.
C'est tout. That's all.